Hello everyone, it's Maki. Z GUNDAM is known for its complex storyline. Its captivating nature stems not only from the cool mobile suits, but also from the characters' philosophies and relationships. I previously discussed the philosophy of Jumida Hyman, the leader of the Titans. We examined the true meaning behind his belief in Earth's supremacy. I also discussed the objectives of the various organizations that appear in the story. Surprisingly, we discovered that even though they are in conflict, they are actually aiming for the same final destination. This time, I'll analyze the 30 bunch incident. Keeping Jumida's philosophy in mind as we look into it, I think we'll uncover even more insights. Before we dive into the main topic, I have a quick announcement. On my channel, I'm inviting supporters to become members. For 99 cents a month, you can get a name badge and special stamps to use in comments. Now, let's begin the analysis. Now, let's review the 30 bunch incident. This tragedy occurred in the 30th colony of the cluster of space colonies, known as Site 1. Demonstrations based on anti-Earth Federation ideals were being carried out at 30 bunch. However, these demonstrations weren't aimed at an armed uprising. They simply promoted the idea that to restore Earth's environment, humanity must migrate into space. In response, Colonel Bascom, a commander of the Titans, carried out an extremely heavy-handed and inhumane attack. He used a poisonous substance called G3 gas to suppress the demonstration and kill all the colony's inhabitants. It was a complete massacre with a recorded death toll of 15 million. When the protagonist Camille Beden and his companions visited 30 bunch, the bodies were still there. Among them were young children who had nothing to do with the demonstrations or any political ideology. This incident triggered Elugo's full-scale armed conflict against the Titans. Although the Elugo and the Titans were already at odds before this incident, Henkan Bekana remarked the 30 bunch incident was the beginning of the real war. That's the official account of the 30 bunch incident. It was an incident where Bascom, acting on his own authority, used poison gas and took the lives of many civilians. That's probably the understanding most people have. But is that really the correct way to see it? Now, let's take a closer look at the 30 bunch incident. As I mentioned earlier, the people there were simply voicing their opinions to the government of the Federation. They weren't preparing weapons or threatening anyone with force. Massacring 15 million people at once is unprecedented in human history. Throughout history, there have been leaders who have carried out massacres. However, compared to those 15 million, is an extraordinarily high and horrifying number. After reviewing this information, don't you find yourself wondering something? Why was Bascom able to continue acting as commander of the Titans? Not only that, but Bask was also active in the extremely high-level position of overall commander of the operational forces. Could it be because the Titans held strong influence and authority within the Earth's Federation government? That could be part of the reason. But on its own, it doesn't seem like a fully convincing explanation. The answer to this question is written in the novel. The Zeta Gundam novels were written by Yoshiyuki Tomino. Tomino included many details in the novels that couldn't be fully portrayed in the TV anime. Let's see what Volume 1 says. There is an account that explains the 30 bunch incident. This was an operation by the Earth's Federation government. It was carried out to lure out hidden resistance forces and wipe out anti-government movements all at once. The important phrase here is an operation by the Earth's Federation government. It does not say an operation by the Titans. The true culprit behind the study bunch incident was the Earth's Federation government itself. Bascom was merely the one who carried it out. The excessive discrimination and fear that the Earth's Federation government held toward the space noise was the root cause of this incident. This mindset has continued in Universal Century works, even those not directly handled by Mr. Tomino. The Unicorn Gundam is also a creation born from this ideology. Jamidov exploited the intentions of the Earth's Federation leaders. As I mentioned in an earlier episode, Jamidov's true goal was the restoration of Earth's environment. He aimed to start a great war, exhaust Earth's resources and eliminate those who refused to leave the planet. To achieve his goal, he needed a large-scale war. To make that possible, he created the Titans. Of course, there also had to be an opposing organization to fight against the Titans. A great tragedy, like the study bunch incident, was necessary to give birth to such an organization. Thus, EUGO stepped up their activities in earnest. EUGO members have said it was after witnessing the study bunch incident that we resolved to truly fight the Titans. However, the launch of EUGO's full-scale actions was also part of Jamidov's plan. The true culprit behind the study bunch incident was the Earth's Federation government itself. At its core, the incident was the first stage in bringing Jamidov's plan to completion. This is the hidden truth behind the complex story. Understanding this background also helps deepen our appreciation of the other Universal Century series. In the sequel to Zeta Gundam Gundam Double Zeta, the Titans hardly make an appearance at all. In Char's counterattack, Charles never speaks to the people about the history of the Universal Century. The general public had come to recognize the Titans as an anti-Earth Federation organization. Spin-off creators focusing on this element came up with narratives where, after the events of Zeta Gundam, the Earth Federation government severely and forcefully punished the Titans for their war crimes. However, some operations attributed to the Titans were actually carried out under the leadership of the Earth Federation government itself. The study bunch incident, which we analyzed, is the perfect example of this. The Earth Federation government punished the Titans as if to declare themselves the true force of justice. Based on the content of this article, your impression of the Earth Federation government may have changed. In Hathaway's Flash, the story depicts the Earth Federation government's atrocities. Even in the first film, Federation personnel fired directly into residential areas of the city. They belong to an organization called the Manhunters, which isn't strictly a military force. Looking down on them, Hathaway remarks with contempt. They think of themselves as soldiers. In the second film and beyond, we can expect to see more of the Earth Federation government's atrocities. Some might feel as though the Earth Federation government suddenly started acting like criminals. However, the government's reckless behavior began in the Zeta Gundam era. I plan to continue exploring the world of the Universal Century. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. See you in the next episode.